Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday and happy first day of fall. My name is Lori DeGroot from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Calgary, Alberta. And I love to come live every Thursday at 12 p.m. Mountain Time to just get some crafting done with you and to give you inspiration and tips and ideas to hopefully inspire you and get you crafting on your own. And if you're ever looking for some more information, you can always head over to my website, which is loritamarie.crafts.ca. So I hope that you guys are doing well. And if you are coming in and watching the replay later, I really appreciate you taking the time to find the replay, to watch it. And I hope that you enjoy the crafts that I'm going to be making today. Today, we're going to be making Thanksgiving table favors. I'm really excited about these. Of course, they could be tweaked for any occasion or whatever you like, but I have two different ones that are kind of like little treat packaging or table favors, and I hope that you enjoy those crafts today. Yeah, I also, like I said, happy first day of fall. I hope that is lovely and sunny where you are. It is a blue, so I can peek out my window. It's a blue sky here today. It's been lovely. It's been such a nice fall here. I have got my plaid shirt on. I'm ready for fall. I love my plaid shirt. I just got it. I'm a 90s girl for sure, and I totally wore plaid in high school, and so every time plaid comes back, I'm all in it. I don't mind. This is one trend that I don't mind coming back around to as I get older. So I love plaid, and I'm going to be using plaid paper today. So Stampin' Up! Never disappoints me. They always have some plaid paper that I get to play with. So we're going to play with some of that today. So before we get going on our crafts, I also just wanted to mention that today is the very last day to sign up for my September class. So September, you might think fall stuff, but it's actually a Christmas card class, and it's featuring products from the Light to Glow suite from the July to December mini catalog. And I have been posting fun projects about this week. So if you are looking for some ideas with that suite, you can always check back on last week's live or follow me on Instagram, and I've got some cute reels there that show off some of the features. But the class, there are two fabulous options. So the first one I wanted to share is the card kit. So you get everything you need to make 6 cards, 3 of each one. And I do all the hard and fussy stuff. So the cards are obviously designed for you, and I cut the cardstock in the designer series paper and the dies. So if you don't have the dies, right, you get all the die cut pieces as well and envelopes, and you get a PDF of instructions, step-by-step instructions to walk you through how to make them. So the card kit is only $20, and I can ship to anywhere in Canada. So if that's enticing to you, then don't forget to sign up today. Today's the last day. If you want a bit more, my full class includes product as well. So you get some of the paper, ribbon, embellishments, and then you get to make like a little more complicated projects. So I'll just give you a hint of the projects. They are 4 beautiful cards, and they each have a special little element to them. And then you get all that product, plus, again, all the cardstock cut and prepped and ready for you. And this class, the full class, has a full video tutorial. So you can watch that video at any time that you want, and you get a PDF also of the dimensions as a reference. And if you don't need, say, the product, but you want the tutorial, or you live outside of Canada, and I can't ship classes outside of Canada, but if you would like the tutorial, you can also buy that just for $20. Anyone can purchase that. And you can mix and match any of those 3 options as well. If you have any questions, just let me know, or you can head over to my website for more information. But today is the very last day. I need to hear from you by the end of today. And I was going to say something else with that. Oh, I know. Okay, so maybe you're like, oh, I'm not ready for Christmas crafts. I suggest just buy the kit now, and then you don't have to do it in September. If you want to save your crafting for October or for November, then you have everything ready to go. This one, of course, is only offered now, and then that's it for the year. Okay, so that's all my chit chat. And now let's go ahead and point down to my surface. There we go. And get to our fun little crafts today. So I've got two different ones. Now, I think my mom is here and she's watching. She has inspired me today for my little table favors, because if you know my mom at all, she is brilliant at what we call, tablescapes, where you decorate your table, and she always makes everyone feel special by putting a little thing at their place setting, even if it's just family, like our immediate family, but even for other guests as well. So I thought I definitely want to make some cute table favors today. So let's get going, and I hope that you like them today. So let's see. The first one is going to be something that you can set at a place, maybe even with the person's name on it. And so what you need first, let's find my dimensions here, is you need a piece of cardstock. So I've chosen to go with gray granite today, which is a lovely gray because it's a bit warmer of a gray, than smoky slate or something like that. So it's nice and warm. And we're going to cut it to, what do I want? 3.5 inches by 5 3/4. And then we need to score it 3 times. So we're going to score it at 1 3/4, 3.5, and 5 1/4. Okay, so let me just show you how this turns out here. So we're going to burnish our folds. And then you can kind of see what it's going to turn into. And these are simple. You don't, when you're making stuff for an event, you don't necessarily want each one to take you an hour, right? So I'm purposely making these to be simple so that you can make multiples. So it's got a cute little triangle, like a little Toblerone shape. And so to put it together, this little flap here, you've got this 1/2 inch flap. I'm just going to put adhesive on that. And I love my Seal Plus for 3D projects that I really want to stick together. It's like extra sticky. And then, let's see, how do I want to do this? And then we're just going to attach it like so. And you can get right in there, or you can use your bone folder to kind of stick it down. Okay, so that's the base of it. So you can see it'll just sit nice at a person's table setting. And so now we need to decorate it, right? So grab your favorite fall designer series paper. And so, of course, the Rustic Harvest DSP is so lovely. And there's lots of great options. There's leaves and pumpkins and gourds. I'm just going to use this orange Cajun Craze DSP as my background. And we want to cut a 3-inch piece. So I'm just making it a little smaller than the cardstock. And then I'm cutting it to 5 7/8. So it needs to be just slightly larger because we're wrapping it around. And then we're going to score it again 3 times. 1 3/4, 3.5, and then 5 3/8. Just to get it around. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these folded up. Just like so. And so let's grab our little box. And so you kind of want to line up so that your seam is not at the front. So I've got my edge at the back. So I kind of want it to go like this and wrap around again with my seam at the back again. So you just kind of want to take note of where that is. I'm going to put my adhesive on the outside. And then hopefully I don't mess it up again. And then we're going to wrap it around and then attach it like this. There we go. See that? All right, what do we think so far? Are you thinking about the treats that you want to put inside there? Yes, you are. So I have just made let's see if I can find my pieces here. I just, again, want to keep it simple for the decoration. So this paper, it's got great options. So you've got these pumpkins that you can cut out, or the pumpkins and the gourds that you can cut out. And so I think I'm actually going to cut out one of these pumpkins. And so you just go ahead, and then maybe you even want to do, if you're really crazy, you can go with an assortment and cut out and make a little arrangement of the leaves and the pumpkin. Or you can stamp something. You could stamp your leaves and cut them out, or a pumpkin. Basically, just choose any kind of fall image that you love and cut it out. We just need an image of some sort. See if I can cut this quickly here for you. Voila. Okay, so then we've got our pumpkin, and then I'm going to grab one of these fall leaves. I love these things. So this is the Leaf Label and Amber Gem Combo Pack. So you get all of these fun maple leaves, and then you also get a sheet of gems that goes with it. So I'm going to put these things together. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to tie some ribbon on this before I stick it to my project. So it's got that little hole, right, because it's to be used as a tag. And so, you know, it's kind of just asking for you to put a cute ribbon on it. Let me just tie this through. So this is the gold trim. I use this all the time. You've probably seen me use it. It comes in a pack of gold and silver, and is like a Christmas staple, actually, for my Christmas crafting. It's when I use it the most. So if you're looking for something for your Christmas cards, this pack of ribbon is a good thing to do. So I've just tied a knot, and then I've tied a bow there. Okay, and then I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back. I've got a sheet here. Okay, I just need a couple of those. Okay, and I'm just going to put that on the front, and then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on my pumpkin. Okay, and then before I put my pumpkin on, I'm going to grab a piece of basic white paper. So this is just a 1/2 inch strip, and then I think I needed about 3.5 inches-ish. We can trim it down if we need to. And then I'm just going to cut a little banner piece out just for interest. So you just snip up the middle and then snip up from either corner. And let's see, I probably do need to cut that down a little bit. And so if you were doing this for your table, now is the time to write the person's name on it before you put it on your project, and then you can't write on it anymore. And then I'm just going to, let's see, like that. I'm just going to put that on like so, and then we're going to layer the pumpkin over top. Just like that. So cute, right? Picture, you know, if you've got nice handwriting, or you find someone who can do calligraphy for you. And then you can do that. And of course, if you wanted to, you could add some of these pretty gems on there as well. So it's open. You could just leave it as a place setting, but you could also grab a couple treats and tuck them inside as well as a special thing for whoever you're having your Thanksgiving dinner with. So that is our first project. So now let's get to our second one. So for the second one, I am going to be using this amazing paper. Let's see if I can grab it here. I'm actually just going to use the gray, but I'm going to show you the paper too, because you need to see how amazing it is. Well, I got my garbage piling up here. So this is called the Gingham Cottage Designer Series paper, and it's from the new mini catalog as well. And let's just show you. I am a sucker for plaid, anything. I mean, this is technically gingham, but it's plaid-ish, right? And so I'm making mine gray. My colors are gray, Cajun Craze, and Night of Navy, but maybe that's not your favorite colors. You can see, look at all these fantastic options. So you could go more with the red or the yellow or the orange if that's what you like. And then, of course, you've got the other side too. Look how amazing this paper is. It's so pretty. I love it. It comes in a huge stack. This is one of the giant ones that comes with like 48 sheets of paper. And so if you've looked at this and thought, that's huge, I'm never going to use all that, I encourage you to split it with a friend, and you each get half. And then that's kind of like a nice amount. Or split it in 4 and everyone gets 1 sheet and do your own little paper share. That would be a fun thing for you to do. So what we need is to choose your designer series paper that you want to use. And we're going to make a little pocket. And these little pocket things are so easy to make. They look impressive, but they're super easy. So first thing we need to do is have a piece of DSP that's cut at 4 by 7. So I'm just going to cut off, do I need my, yeah, I'm just going to cut off 5 inches there. So a 4 by 7 piece. And now we're going to score it in half, have 3.5. And then along these long edges here, we're going to score all the way down at 1/2 inch. So obviously, if you want your pocket to be wider or taller, you can just tweak that as you need. And I feel, why is my paper not? I don't know. I feel like it's a little off. Maybe my measuring is a little off today. Here, we'll fix it like this. There we go. And have it nice and straight. Okay, and then we're going to get our sides here. And the sides are to create flaps. So we don't need all 4 of them. So what you're going to do is we're going to cut up the middle. Okay, where we have that middle line. See if you can see this. And then I'm going to cut out a wedge. Okay, and so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just look for your score line and then cut out a little wedge. And then actually from the top too, you're going to cut out a wedge, and that's just so everything folds up nice and you don't see extra edges on your pocket. Okay, and so that's our flaps. And so we don't need these ones. So what you're going to do is just cut them off. I like to go inside my score line, just barely there. Let's see. So I can see it. That's harder to see on the gray. Okay, so trim those pieces off. And now we can put our little pocket together. And so I'm going to use my Seal Plus again. Tear and tape. It's also great for 3D projects. And then we're just going to, let's see, do this way. Put it in. Get one side. And then the other side. And that's it to make your own little pocket. And so it's kind of a nice size. I didn't want to make it too big, but it's going to fit a gift card inside, and it's going to fit candy too. So it's got to fit candy. Maybe it's candy corn, or maybe it's chocolate, depending on if you're a candy or chocolate person. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, you candy or chocolate person. And now we have to decorate it, right? So we've got a few things we're going to do. So the first thing is I'm going to just create a band around. And so this is just a 1/2 inch strip of 3/4 inch strip of Night of Navy. And that's probably a bit long. I think it only needs to be about 8 inches long. And then all I do is I put a little adhesive on the one end. And then I just wrap it around. And then you cover up the seam with whatever kind of decoration that you're going to do on top. And so I'm going to use the leaf again. And this time I'm going to show you a different pumpkin. So if you didn't have paper that you wanted to cut out, then you could obviously stamp. And so this is the Hello Harvest stamp set. And You could just stamp it on orange cardstock and be done. And then you don't have to worry about coloring or anything like that if you don't want to fuss with coloring. If you've seen me color this before this fall, but I love this pumpkin, so I'm going to color it again. So this is the watercolor pencils, but you could also use your Stampin' Blends if you've got those. I don't have orange. So that's one reason, but when you do with your Stampin' Blends, you're going to get a nice, bright, bolder color than you do with the watercolor pencils. It always looks a bit softer when you're using the pencils. So if you love the coloring side of things, those are kind of your best options. Or again, you can just stamp it right onto cardstock and cut it out. So this has coordinating dies that you can cut out. And so I've just colored this in. This is Cajun Craze again. And I'm just going to go darker over where the lines are. And you just kind of, doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blend this all in together. So again, if pumpkins aren't your thing, the catalog has lovely like fall leaf stamp sets as well. If you want to go for the more leaf look. I'm going to now color this in with my blender pens. So these just kind of blend that watercolor pencil. And I like it because it's easy. I'm not super like painting artistic. And this makes sense to me. It's like, I can do this. I can color. And so I'm just going over the dark bits first and just blending that in. You can see how it's getting nice and bright now. And then I'm just going to like brush it off until my brush is clear so that I can color in the lighter parts. So I just like to show coloring often because sometimes it can seem intimidating, but it's really as fussy or as not fussy as you want it to be, like all card making. So there, all done. So it doesn't have to take you all day to color. And then we're going to do a similar look here. Let's see, grab my stuff that I need here. So I'm going to grab my gold ribbon again. If you don't want gold, a good fall choice is also like linen thread or something more natural like that. But I like, because my leaf is kind of natural looking, then I wanted to add the gold for a little bit of pop. And then it's a little fancy. I like a little bit of a fancy table. And so just gonna tie my bow here. Is anybody even thinking about Thanksgiving yet? It comes up, I always find it, you feel like it's far away and then all of a sudden it's here and you're like, oh, it's Thanksgiving weekend already. How did that happen? Okay, I'm gonna fuss with my bow later. Sometimes it needs tweaking. This time I'm gonna put my pumpkin on first. And so I get it in the right spot. I'm gonna put my dimensionals right onto the cardstock. Although this isn't like a belly band that I'm moving, so it's not as important. And then, oops. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're gonna put our adhesive on, if I can get it going. Oh, I just undid my bow. So sometimes crafting is uncoordinated. Goodness. We all have to be a little uncoordinated sometimes, right? Okay, I can do this. I can do hard things. Okay, now we need a sentiment. And I'm just going to use white cardstock. And this is, again, the Hello Harvest. You are such a blessing. So that's kind of like a nice Thanksgiving sentiment. Pick it up with my block. And I'm going to stamp in navy just to keep my color theme going. And I'm going to just stamp it in the corner because I'm just going to cut it out with my scissors. So You can use your paper trimmer if you want, but remember, we don't want these to take an hour each because we're making more than one to put on our table. So just snip that out, get that out of the way. And then you can put a dimensional or just your regular adhesive. I'm dimensional obsessed, so I might just put a couple more just because. And then maybe this one needs some gems. Where'd they go? And so we could put some of those on. Yeah, definitely needs the gems. Brightens it up, right? There. And then we have our cute little pocket. And so now you can dream about all the goodies that you're going to put inside there. So there is our pocket, and here is our little table favor or place setting. What's the right words I'm looking for? Place setting. And those are our projects today. So let me just switch back to the other camera here. Hello. So I hope you guys like those projects and feel free to use those for your fall or Thanksgiving gatherings that are coming up, or tweaking them for Christmas. I mean, you can just use these for whatever occasion you want. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And don't forget about my September class. I really hope that you join it. I think you're going to love it. It's going to be such fun Christmas cards to have and to give out this season. And so remember, you can contact me or check out my website for more information. And I will be back next week with another fun project. So until then, bye-bye.